All right, Chroma, learn. I believe there should be a tutorial hidden in here under the learn button, I'd imagine. I was told there was a tutorial added. When I first played it, it was before their release, and they said they added a tutorial. Am I missing it? What am I missing? I just assumed I was going to click learn and there was going to be a tutorial there. I had just assumed that the learn button would turn into the tutorial. Was it an option under? Maybe it is under play. It is under play. Look at that tutorial. Play tutorial. All right, I think you should have their game audio now too. Okay, this is your first hand of cards of the game. You may decide to keep it or shuffle it back into your deck and then draw another set of 4 cards. Let's show my overlay stuff here really quick. Do the tutorials. Select confirm to keep the current cards. Sure. The play area in front of you is called the story. As you go through the game, you will place permanents into this story. Individual spaces in the story are called pages, and there are 7 pages on each side. Or pages like the lanes, it looks like. Looks like that's lit up. Learning. I played through some of the mechanics, but learning the jargon. So they're calling, each of these slots are called a page. This is your deck. At the start of turn, you draw a card. The top card of your deck is added to your hand. These are called the ashes. After a card is played, destroyed, or discarded, it goes to the ashes. You can click on the cards to view them. Discard pile. This is the void. Some effects void cards permanently remove them from the game. Okay, so graveyard, exile. Your maximum hand size is 10. If you go to draw a card while you have 10 cards in hand, it gets voided instead. Okay, so instead of discarding at end of turn, there's a hand size limit, similar to Runeterra and Hearthstone. Your goal is to get the opponent's health to 0. When that happens, you win the game. Looks like each player is starting at 40 here. This is your health. If it drops to 0, you lose. These are your mana orbs. Every turn you get an additional mana orb. You can use mana to play cards and activate abilities. You have a companion in your hand, the Egotist. So companions are the units. Deadly, Dusk, I deal 1 to both things. Dusk activates when this goes from the story to the ashes. So when it dies, like a death rattle or a dies effect, destroy any companion this deals damage to. You can right click on cards in your hand to see bigger, like we just did. Play the Egotist by dragging it onto a page. Companions can't attack on the turn they're played. Okay, so Summoning Sickness. You're out of mana and can't attack yet, so end your turn. Every hero has 3 unique abilities. That's a lot of stuff. The primary and secondary abilities are always available to your hero. Deal 3 damage to your opponent. Secondary, if you have dealt damage to your opponent this turn, your companions get +1 attack until end of turn. Use your primary ability to deal damage to your opponent. Looks like used up our mana crystals over here, so every turn you get another mana crystal, similar to Hearthstone or other linear mana progression systems. As the Egotist has now been in the story for a turn. Combat, they can attack. Stances will be explained soon. Attack your opponent with the Egotist. Do so, drag your mouse to your opponent's hero. Smack. Crunch. Okay, so they took 4 from this. And they took 2 3 from this, another at 33. I may attack other companions that are in the guarded stance. Companions can attack other companions. When they do, they both take damage equal to the opponent's attack. Attack the egoist to destroy the opposing companion. This will also destroy the egoist. So they bump into each other. On the left side in the center, there is a line. This is the act counter. It decreases after a card is played or when a turn ends. When it reaches 0, the game will move to the next act of the story. The Porthos theming here is neat. Stories, pages, acts like in a play. The game of Chroma goes through 3 different acts. You can see which act the game is by looking at the act indicator in the center. So I assume this means Act 1. Yep. No gameplay changes. Act 2 gives both heroes 2 additional neutral mana. Act 3 unlocks the ultimate ability of both heroes. You can disable the overlay on your end for Magic if it's annoying you. This game does not have Twitch integration, I don't believe. At least I looked and didn't see it. Act 2 and 3 each change the game. Act 2, both heroes get extra mana. Act 3, heroes get access to their ultimate ability. 1 neutral, deal 5 damage to any target. That ramps up a lot from 2 mana, deal 3. So ultimates help close the game out, I imagine. Destroy target page. Yep, seems like they ramp up a lot. I like that. It's neat as a mechanic. Games dragging on is definitely a concern. So having this kind of thing where as you get to the late game, this triggers and forces the game towards ending seems good. Play the Gore Battle Standard. Pay attention to the act counter as you do. It will decrease by 1. At the start of your turn, use your primary hero ability. Dawn Gore Battle Standard reduces ability cooldown of its allied adjacent permanents by 1. Alts are one-time use. Okay. Gore Battle Standard is an enchantment. They also enter the story, but they don't participate in combat. Enchantments have a span. At the start of your turn, their span decreases by 1. If it reaches 0, they're destroyed. Okay, so they're like temporary modifiers that don't attack or block, but they're timed. This is your opponent's first barrier. If they would take enough damage to push up to or past 30 health, they instead take damage up to the first barrier and the barrier breaks. Oh, that's neat. So this is kind of a mechanic so you don't just get OTK'd. So like you can hit them for a chunk and they know they're just not going to take all of their life at a certain point. When the first barrier of either hero breaks, the game will move to Act 2 at end of turn regardless of the act counter. So there's multiple triggers that can progress the game along through barriers breaking and just cards being played in turns passing. The Gore Battle Standard will break your opponent's barrier at the start of your turn. End your turn. Looks like we've got a action tracker over here too. Your opponent's first barrier has been broken by your Gore Battle Standard. They played a dangerous companion. You currently don't have any tools to fight it, so let's set up for later turns. Play the Black Dragon Saint. I deal 3 to the character that destroyed me. That seems pretty good. Companions in the story are always in one of 2 stances, the combat stance or the guarded stance. Companions in the combat stance are in the combat stance by default. While in combat stance, they can be attacked and they can attack and be attacked, we've already seen. However, companions in the guarded stance can't attack or be attacked. This allows you to protect them from opposing companions. Okay, so you can like toggle so they can't get hit. You can switch between stances by clicking on the little sword at the top of the card. Companions can only switch stances once per turn and only if they haven't attacked yet. Switch it to a guarded position. This will protect it from the opposing champion. So this goes to Act 2, and it looks like it added 2 extra mana here on neutral. So, interesting to note, looks like the acts only happen at the end of a turn, so there's some incentive probably to not be the one that initiates the next act, because that gives the opponent access to the extra neutral mana first. Your opponent just played a landmark. Landmarks can't attack and don't have stances, but they can be attacked and take damage. They're very sturdy. Instead of health, they have plating. You can only deal 1 damage at a time to plating. To deal 12 damage to plating, you need 12 different damage instances. Okay, so landmarks are similar to enchantments, only you can attack them to whittle them down instead of them wearing out over the course of a few turns. Landmarks usually affect both players equally, changing in general the playing field of the story. Landmark your opponent plays gives all companions taunt. Companions have to attack other companions with taunt first if they're adjacent to each other. Adjacent counts diagonal. A companion is adjacent to their companion. Yep, makes sense. Your opponent still has a dangerous companion in play. Let's fix that. In your hand is Prey. Prey is a spell. Spells are one-time effects. Play Prey on the Indecent to return the companion to your opponent's hand. Return an opposing permanent to its owner's hand. A random enchantment in their hand enters the story. Destroy that enchantment. And you can see here, when I play this out, our mana gets used. So it used our 2 neutral mana plus 1 of our green. So there's different colors in this game, even though you're not playing land. So this takes 2 green and 2 neutral. You can use green mana as neutral. Now there isn't a dangerous companion anymore. Switch Black Dragon Saint into combat stance. They can't attack yet because they haven't spent a turn in combat stance. Oh, okay. So you can't just like flip them back and then immediately attack with them. No. Dawn, use your hero's primary ability. Okay, so like things like Gore, Battle Standard, and this looks like this deck's focused around using our activated ability bunch. Dawn is when it enters the story. So Dawn's interplay. Got it. So Dusk is when it dies. Dawn's interplay. That makes sense. The second barrier breaks at 15 life, which would trigger Act 3, I imagine. At the start of your turn, the Gore Battle Standard was destroyed because the span ran out. Before being destroyed, it still dealt 3 damage, breaking your opponent's second barrier. Now that your opponent's second barrier has been broken, the game will move into Act 3 at the end of the turn. This will unlock the ultimate abilities of both heroes. Play the Insurgent Automation. Ability 3, 1 cooldown. I deal 3 damage to any target. Abilities can be activated either by clicking on the ability button of the permanent or by dragging to your target. Attack with our Black Dragon. Use our ability. End our turn. Alright, so they used their ultimate. Your opponent destroyed all of your companions, voiding one of them. If a companion with a Dusk gets voided, their Dusk doesn't activate. So yeah, similar to Exile, don't trigger its Dies effect. Yeah, the numbers and letters, I feel like from a design perspective, the cards are a little bit cluttered. Like, I feel like I would understand gray is neutral and green is green. Like, I don't know that I need the A next to the 3 and the N next to the other one. Like, maybe it's good for people that are colorblind, having an option to toggle that on, but I feel like by default, I would prefer just numbers over colors. Same thing with cooldowns. I agree having a symbol would be good. Oh, I can toggle that in the settings. That's good to know. Look at that. They already have a toggle. Use your ultimate to win the game. And toggle that is on by default. Options. Is that tooltip length? Where do I go to? Art direction. Oh, it's under graphics. Oh, look at that. Enable on mana symbols. And it has extra colorblind options too. Look at that. It's nice. I feel like, so whenever I do sponsored things or new games, I always ask for deck lists. And one thing that's neat about this game, because all of the cards are completely free, they said, the person that I was talking to said you don't really have to avoid the starter decks, because the starter decks can be their pretty reasonable power level, because there's no reason for them to like make them bad intentionally to make you get cards. Yeah, something, so to talk about the deck building, so like, where are my decks? So you can see there's different colors in this game. And so like this deck that we have here and another one that we played, these are monocolored, and some of these other starters have multicolors and even 3 colors based on the cards, and you dictate when you build. So like to look at the deck for a second here, to how do I edit? Is it right click on here? Duplicate deck. Oh, edit. There we go. When you're building the deck, you pick which order your colors come in here on the curve. So you kind of dictate the order in which, yeah, look at that. That looks much better by default without the letters in there too. So you can kind of pick which order you're getting your colors into. Yeah, so it's not like Hearthstone where cards are class locked. You can mix and match cards between different decks. But how consistently you're going to be able to play them is dictated by where you pick your colors out. Yeah, it's really neat from a design perspective. Let's just jump into playing another game. I'm going to pick one of the monocolored ones here. Ooh, they have best of 1 and best of 3. Let's do best of 1. Why is green A? I don't know. Yeah, the letters are still showing up in the collection screen. I assume they won't be there in... And I would bet they have names for the colors too. Thanks for the follows, by the way. We had a few there earlier doing the tutorial. Rage, TNX, KYKY, and LE. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, the cards look way less cluttered and more elegant here. I mean, I have, this is a 2-drop and a 3-drop, so I assume I just want to curve out, right? I don't have a 1-drop, but a 2 into a 3 sounds fine. So remember, this is a 2-mana spell. It takes 1 neutral plus 1 green. Oh, look at that. A true skill game we play. He evolves on turn 2, chat. What? Scophilus Hatchling is evolving. Oh, that's rude. Bolt is like haste, may act right away. Okay, and then you see I have 2 green mana now. This deck that we're playing is only green. So this costs 2, it costs 1 neutral and 1 green. So if you were playing a multicolored deck, you would only need 1 green colored symbol to play this card out. Ooh, yeah, well, so if I put him in the guard stance, he wouldn't have been able to attack the following turn. If 2 attack during your opponent's turn. Uncover a companion. Choose one of 3 cards from the top of your deck, add it to your hand. This is cantrips when it comes into play. I evolve in Act 3. It's neat that cards scale up as the acts go on. I evolve in Act 2, or after I deal damage to your opponent at the end of turn, I get 1/1. Probably want to play a 3-drop this turn in terms of resource efficiency. I think we're just going to trade these idiots off. I guess I should look at what my opponent's abilities do. Scry 1. The first mana of your mana pool is chromatic in all colors. Oh, that's neat. The secondary ability is just fixing. The first color is all colors. Ultimate doesn't seem very good. All of your mana is all colors. I don't know that that's super useful. Because by the time you get to your ultimate, you probably have most of your mana unlocked. So this is I evolve on turn 2. Okay, so it evolved what was in my deck too. So it is a 3/3 now because we're past turn 2. That makes sense. So I have 4 mana altogether. I can play two 2-drops here. Sounds good. And these can't attack the first turn. It allows you to play cards from other colors. Okay, sure. So you like have when you get to the ultimate, you can have like bombs from other colors in your deck. That makes sense. Yeah, and it looks like the opponent only has green and purple crystals, but like this was a purple blue card that they played because this champion gives their first thing that color. Things have to wait a turn and play to attack first, so things have summoning sickness in this game. So if I hit them down to 30, that breaks their first barrier, which puts us into Act 2, which means they'll have 2 extra mana next turn. My allied companions have +1/+1. I evolve in Act 2. My allied companions have additional +1/+1. And we're going to push us into Act 2 here in a second, right? When this happens. Wait, what did I... You attacked. It breaks at 30 health. So did their barrier break? Why did we only hit them for 5? What am I missing? Oh, they had armor up. Okay. Where was the armor icon? Oh, I guess this was great. Was there another number up here that I missed? Oh, their health was gray and they had number 1. Right. And armor says it only pops 1 at a time, right? You gain 1 plating, give target allied 1 plating, and I may attack twice. Okay, so that's what happened. The knife made wise is the card I was missing. That do. Choose a card from the story or hero in the ashes, place it. What happened to... What happened to my, what's it called? I missed something again, chat. Oh, choose a card from the story. The story refers to the battlefield. Okay, so they drew my card off the battlefield. Got it. That seems really strong. It's like a piece of heart removal, basically. Oh, I sequenced that wrong, right? If I would have done this first, I would have popped the barrier with this, and then this would have done my hero ability to deal 3 here. So it goes to Act 2 because we broke their barrier. No direct referral link or anything like that, Natterjack. Just give it a try if you're interested in checking out a sweet new card game. Like I said, one of the big things that's neat about this is if the gameplay looks appealing to you, there's no microtransactions or anything like that to get cards. You just have all of the cards by default to start. Dawn, create 2 1/1 Bramble Beasts in the story. After an allied companion enters the story, I give allied companions 1 attack. This is a 5/4, so they're going to get to eat my... Well, they did Knife was made again. So they did this to give it plating, and then made it bigger and let it attack, and this lets it draw a card when they attack. Can't be targeted spells or abilities from your opponent. And it's not particularly good, right? Like, it's nice as a bit of burst damage, but it doesn't actually stop them from attacking it directly in play. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total mana. I guess we can just crunch them for a bunch here, huh? This gives our Dorkos +2/+2. So I can go hit you with this, hit you with this. Oh, they had the stupid... I forgot they had the stupid plating again. All right, we're dead. Should have used the primary first, then we would have broken the... Oh, I hit quit instead of concede. All right, take 2. I missed the plating indicator.
Please take a seat. Here, let me just move my tail.
All right, take 2. The secondary gives us 1 attack on our units after we damage the opponent. Right. So if you lead on that before you attack with anything, everything else attacks for more. That is a good game design feature. Quit appears to have conceded the game for us, which is smart. I have 1 drop into 2 drop into this. So this sounds good. Da-da-da. Restore 3 health to any target and draw a card. Sure. Healing salve the cantrips. Looks like you can go above your starting health total in this game. It's good to note. Okay, so if I would have done this first, I would have dealt 1 more damage, right? Because that triggers and then does that. Yeah, okay. So I missed up that sequencing. Because this activates our hero power when we use it. Max health is 80. Okay. Good to know there's still a cap. Can turn sub mode off for the people that are still here. Thanks for hanging out. Check out some Chroma today. I didn't want to turn it off right when we switched. I wanted to let the people that were here just to troll for magic clear out a little bit. The opponents. Oh, that's a good question. Discard a card, draw a card. Deal 1 damage to any target for every 6 cards in your ashes. On the abilities have different mana costs too. Or do they? No, this is 2 neutral. This is 2 neutral. Maybe I'm a liar. It's 2 neutral, 1 cooldown. This is some of these are passive and some are not though. Okay, so I have 3 mana. This has Bolt Dawn. I give another ally companion to attack this turn. Yes, you pick your like champion or hero. What are these called? Does anybody know the correct jargon for these that's poked at this? So let's give someone a bonus. And then if I use this ability, it triggers my secondary, which gives everything. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. So then this puts them to exactly 30, which breaks their barrier. And then these can get in there after. Look at that. We remembered to use our hero power, and I sequenced my attackers correctly into the barrier. Give me inject the player agency directly into my veins. What is a barrier? So there are 2 barriers on your health at 30 and 15 that basically say you can't take a ton of damage from one source and die in that swing. So like if you're at 40, you can't take like 15 damage in one hit. The lowest you can go is 30. After I'm discarded, I enter the story and take 2 damage. Discard a card, destroy target permanent. That's rude. I liked my permanence, opponent. So if I do this, these die, I believe. Okay. I have 6 total resources. 2 mana is neutral. Let's play this, which takes a neutral mana. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's shoot with this. Crunch you for 3. We used all of our resources efficiently. I remember to use this before I attack. Yeah, maybe. I plan to play at least 2 different decks. I'm going to play this one for the first little bit. This deck seems like a reasonable aggro deck, so I'd like to get a feel for it. Next turn, we're going to have a great setup. We have Gift of Conviction, which gives 6 extra attack, and then the Knife Made Wise lets something attack twice. So able to give something a huge attack boost, and then use this to smack them twice with that. Yes, you are playing. No instance, you are playing entirely on your turns. Or did I forget to use the ability on this? Could I have used the ability the first turn I played it? Oh, it takes mana. It takes 3 mana. Never mind. Deal 1 damage to target opposing permanent equal to the amount of cards in your ashes. Well, so I can hit through the barrier over the course of a couple attacks. So the next barrier is at 15. So if I start with this, it puts them to 19, and it cranks this up to 4. So then I can go ahead and hit them with this down to 15, which pops the barrier. And then I can say gift on here plus Knife Made Wise. Are they dead? Is this 18? I think if I understand how this works, they have died. Yes. Okay, sweet. I think I misunderstood the barrier to start. So I think I misexplained it to start. So the barrier doesn't protect you for the entire turn. It protects you from a single hit. So I think I described the barrier as stopping you from getting OTK'd. It only kind of does that. It stops you from getting OTK'd from a single source or single attack. Let's hop into the ranked queue chat, swim with the big fish. It's a speed bump, not a roadblock, yeah. So it slows down a little bit, but if you sequence with multiple... Yeah, I agree that it's still a good mechanic. It requires... But it gives you still... Is there a side deck mechanic for best of 3? I don't know. I have a 1-drop and a 2-drop. Keep. Frixie, and what's up, Woody? Thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Good afternoon. Best of 3 has a 10-card sideboard. Sweet. I feel like when I click confirm, it would be nice if the client confirmed that, like, it like put my cards down, because I think it was waiting for my opponent to confirm their hand. But I was like wondering, like, did my client lag, or I wasn't sure if it was waiting on me or not. Yeah, the art IP is really great. This does not have bolt, so it cannot attack the first turn. Hey, Lewis. It's coming very soon. The overall UI is being updated on a consistent basis. Sweet. This is still, with your tutorial added, is this still considered early access or beta? Like, I know, obviously, regardless of what the tag is, it's still, are still going to be iterated and improved upon. But what do you all, what stage? Those terms are kind of arbitrary, I guess, too. They mean different things to different companies and different developers. Yeah, I like that the entirety of the game has a flavor to it. It's a full release, as the devs didn't want to be stuck in early access and like some of the... I agree that there's definitely a number of companies have abused that. Did I not forget to end my turn? No, we're on their turn, right? This is red, it means it's their turn. So this could give this plating, and I may attack twice. So I could use this card to kill their threat plus hit their dome here. I could also just ignore this and make them attack my thing. I feel like there's probably stuff that punishes me for doing that. I'm just gonna face them. We play Arena on this stream, and that client is release ready, so we aren't judgy. It's funny because it's true. So I think we're just continuing to curve here. The fact that my opponent didn't have a 2-drop here seems like a big deal. That was another question. This is going to eventually be on mobile. That makes sense. The way the game board's designed, it feels like it would fit pretty reasonably on a small screen. how big is the team working on Chroma, Woody? I know it's an indie project, but like, what is that can range in terms of size too? Depending on who you ask. So next turn I'm gonna have 4 mana. So we can push ourselves into Act 2 with attacks from these. They're at 34. So we can put them to 30 plus like play Automaton. Nice. Okay, so I think with this being a 3/3, I'd actually prefer to kill this. And this does 1 to both heroes when it dies. So if I do this, that happens, it puts them to 33, and then this still triggers Act 2. The team is 4 to 5 devs, and then some artists and designers. And then we have 4 resources total here, so I can play the Black Dragon Saint and the Automaton. And then Act 2 means we're going to unlock neutral mana, so I'm going to have 7 resources on my next turn. I kind of wish it would put the spells as they're resolving on like the stack, on like a stack in the middle, so I can see them better. 3/2/2 Vanguards enter the story. Choose one, give them 1/1, or give them deadly. Okay, so if I do this, can we kill them from 30? I think we're pretty close to killing them from 30 here. So like I could spend my 2 neutral mana to do this and put them to 27. That gives everything +1. Then there's a barrier at 15. So I could give this plus attack. I could give this plus attack and warded. And then I could give it the knife that was made to give it double attack. So I get to go this down to 16. This breaks their barrier. Yeah, I think we just 30'd them. The give your thing 6 attack and double attack seems... that card's really good. I guess they were separate cards, right? One is give 6 attack and one is double attack. I suppose one of the real benefits of all of the cards being free in this game is if they do decide to rebalance or nerf things, no one complains about their collection losing value, right? All your collections are worth the same? Yeah, like those, the knife that was made plus the give 6 attack together seems like pushing 20 is kind of trivial. So this is a mulligan, right? We've got 2 expensive spells for the late game, and then we don't have... I guess we have 2 into 3 technically here, but I think I'm gonna take a mulligan looking for a 1-drop. We've seen cards balance in as little as 12 hours. Neat. Okay, so no 1-drop here. Rats didn't draw on the first turn. Never lucky. Stoic and Austin, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Ability 1 cooldown, add 2 blue to your mana pool till end of turn. Oh, interesting. So this is like a ramp dork, huh? This lets them spend a neutral to get 2 blue. Yeah, definitely, Woody. I think the only interface thing that comes to mind so far is being able to put the whatever spell they're resolving in the middle, so I can see it and zoom in on it. Because there's been a couple of times my opponent's been making choices while resolving a spell, and it's like not in the ashes yet, but I can't zoom in on it while it's like right here on the overlay. So I have to wait for it to finish resolving to see what the card does. Yeah, that would be perfect if I just like right click on it while it's over here and zoom in on it. Okay, so they're using this, which gives them extra mana. Right? Is that my understanding? My allied and adjacent companions have taunt. If I have allied adjacent companions, I have warded. Discard a card. I add bag of crowns to your hand. The discarded crowns card may not be a bag of crowns. Cannot be targeted by spells or abilities from your opponent's controls. Okay, so this protects itself because it's a lord. Lordy, lordy. Okay, so now I can't attack that. I have to attack this. Got it. I have 3 mana this turn. I think we just played the Dragon Beetle. Oh, I was wondering where the 2 mana from this showed. It didn't, it doesn't show on the interface currently where they're floating mana. Okay. So I definitely want to play a 3-drop this turn. Although maybe that was probably wrong, right? Because this is a 3-4, so this is a 4-4, so this is going to be able to eat my 3-4 inside of combat. So I probably should have played the 4-2. This was wrong to play because of the stat line on this. Well, I could have flipped this into guarded mode too, technically, right? I think I should have just played the 4-2. They're gonna get to eat my dork here. Oh, it is in defense mode. You're right. That's good to know. And they have to stay in defense mode for a turn before they can attack. So opponent played a bunch of bag of crowds, lets them ramp up basically. They played a 5-drop here. During your opponent's next turn, all cards cost 1 more to play. At the end of your turn, I add a bag of crowns to your hand. So like bag of crowns combo deck basically. And because these have taunt, I assume I can't attack this. Although if that attacked in here, this can eat this, and then this can eat this, right? If I'm understanding that correctly. Woody, do you know, do they intend to have the cards in my opponent's hand that I'm supposed to know show face up at some point? That would be an ideal feature to have. They did just switch to 4-4 to attack what I assume because I have this 3-power thing in play. It's being debated. So ideally, Woody, anything that I could be tracking by hand with a piece of paper, like anything that's public information, should always be revealed, in my opinion. Basically, the computer should just be automatically writing things down that I could be writing down myself. Anything that, like, you could install a deck tracker to track for you. Ideally, the client should just do that. Okay, sweet. So these give them extra temporary mana, basically. 3/7. I reduce the cooldowns of all allied abilities by 1. The next spell you play this turn costs no mana. Okay, so they're like a ramp combo deck, kinda. And I assume this is about to eat this. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like I said, it was a mistake when I played that out. So this has an ability that costs me 3, so I could have this shoot this. No, I can't because it's warded. Ooh. Can have it shoot this, though? I think I'd probably rather play another unit out, right? Bolt Dorko sounds great here. So, opponent's got a 3/7, but they're down to 1 card in hand. Like, their ability to generate all these Bag of Crowns. I wonder if they're going to have some kind of payoff for the number of cards in their Ashes. Because their Ashes have a ton of cards in them right now, 16. There are a couple of cards that did effects based on the number of cards in their discard pile earlier. And this makes their next spell free, which it seems huge. Champion abilities here add Bags of Crowns. Yeah, their hero ability, this one adds 4 higher for sale. Add a copy of target permanent to your hand. If you play Bag of Crowns this turn, repeat that effect. So, okay, so they just got 2 copies of something off the board. So this is in guarded mode, right? So I can't attack things that are in guarded mode? I believe is the case. If they leave this in guarded mode, I can't hit it. Yeah. Okay, so let's play the Bolt Dorko, make this bigger. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Let's do this. And then you're just going to flood the board here, basically. This will break their barrier. I wonder if there's a sweeper in this game. I feel like even if they have a sweeper, I've got 2 Ready the Vanguards here already just like deployed to the board. So I think we can go super wide here and probably not get punished for it. If they don't have a sweeper here, it feels like they're pretty dead. They're at 22, and I've got 8, 12, 16, 19, plus 3, plus 6 is 28 in play. That's before we Gift of Conviction. They have another barrier at 15, but we have so many varied attacks that we should be able to sequence around that, no problem. Small favor. Choose 2 instead. Deal 3 to all opposing companions or deal 5 to any one target. Yeah, no problem, Woody. Okay, so I have 8 total mana here, 9. So if I do this, that puts them at a 19, and then this attack pushes us into Act 3. Their ultimate here draws them 5 cards. All right, so they're going to get to do that. Let's ready the Vanguard, chat. Hey, Magic Jobo. Thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Good afternoon. All right, even if they have another sweeper here, we've got like this deals 5 to a target. We've got this as well. Yep, they drew 5. They're technically out of resources, but this gives them a free spell this turn. So if they have another small favor here, they can sweep the board again. If they have 2 more sweepers, so if they have a sweeper here to clean this, and then they have another one for a second ready the Vanguard, we're probably going to be in a tough spot. Okay, yep. And there's Garden of Thunder, deals 4 to all opposing characters. Okay. The new magic set's been reasonable. Give target companion the next time I would be destroyed, I entered the story again. Neat. Okay, so let's keep something alive for a turn. So... my ult and primary are 8 damage, you're not wrong. I feel like I'm supposed to be using my primary every turn. My ult only happens once, right? So I'm not really in a rush to do this. I think I blight baptism one of these just to try and keep them alive. I guess we'll do this now. Might as well. Hey, Braveheart. Thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's worth noting the way this game ended up playing out, where they drew 5 cards with their ultimate, it might have been right trying to sequence around, giving them an Act 3. Maybe I should have set myself up to try and kill them from above 15 in a single turn like we did in some of the other games. The fact that I let them hit this and draw 5 cards gave them a better chance to hit their sweepers. There's a chance that decision was wrong, the way the acts play out. Because the ultimates don't unlock until they get into Act 3. My secondary power says the first time I use my primary power each turn, all of my units get +1 attack. So that Dorko comes back, but is going to get eaten by the meta realist here. So we have a draw 2 here, and they're at 7, right? So I've got this to deal 3, and I've got this. So if we can draw our unit with Bolt here, we could close this game out with the Gift of Conviction here. It's been good, Gert. I always like to start with aggro decks. The aggro deck's been fun. We haven't played a not aggro deck yet, but that's where, in my opinion, you should always start new card games with aggressive decks. Figure out how your cards work before you worry about trying to interact with theirs. Hey, Braveheart. Glad you're feeling better. Yo, dog, I heard you like to draw cards, so I drew you cards that draw you cards. Alright, this is a redraw at our bolt card. Ooh. This deals 3, though. This gives us some nice reach. Get into it. Destroy target companion with no adjacent companions. Doesn't seem very useful in this spot. I think we're just going to use this here to shoot them down to 4. And then next turn, so we're at 30. So they need to, we'll see. Maybe they have some kind of crazy combo finish similar to us. We're still learning the cards. But next turn, I have this plus the activated ability on Automaton to kill them from 4. They could also gain life, I suppose. I don't know if their colors are capable of doing that. And again, remember, if you're just joining us, welcome. We're playing some Chroma, Bloom, and Blight today. One of the neat things that this game does, in addition to having some neat design stuff, but from a monetization standpoint, if you think this game looks interesting, all of the cards in this game are free. So this game is being monetized 100% via cosmetic purchases and a battle pass. So you hop in and you see a deck that looks interesting to play, like you play against someone, their deck seems neat, you can build it without spending any money. Oh, this lets us primary ability twice. That makes sense. So this is like a 3-ball as well then. We have 3 plus 3 plus 3 here, technically. We have a 9. Yes, they should be dead here. Yes, this is currently only on Steam. They said once they're happy with the Steam version, they plan to release on mobile eventually. And this deck that we're playing, something that's incidentally sweet that hadn't crossed my mind when I asked originally about the sponsorship, I always ask card games to send me deck lists. And like, we're just playing one of the starter decks because the starter decks in this game can be competitive because they don't need to encourage you to buy packs to monetize it. So like, if you install and want to get a feel for it, there's 5 starter decks, just poke at those. And obviously you can brew and stuff and poke around in the deck editor as well, but if you're looking to just get a feel for the game, you don't have to worry about like tracking deck lists down. You can just jump right in and know these should be reasonable because they're not just giving you crap to make you buy stuff. Which is nice. Howdy, Gluck.
I'm a very busy woman, so you'd best not waste my time.
The starter decks work in order of complexity. 1 is the most simple and 6 is the most complex. Well, we're big brains, so we picked a 3 to start. I have a 1 mana play, and then another 1 mana play, and then a 3. Seems fine. Ooh, and Bag of Crowns gives us an extra red. Okay, so when you're on the draw, you have a coin like in Hearthstone. I think we want to use this turn. Any gimmicks in gameplay that are different than a regular game. There are both enchantments. There's a lot of things that it draws from a couple of different things. One of the interesting things from a deck building perspective in this game is even though there is a linear resource system in the game where you get a mana every turn guaranteed, you can mix and match multiple colors, and you pick the order in which your deck generates colors in this game, which is a neat mechanic / idea. All right, so if I play this, all of the cards are free, Lodo. And not as in this game is free to play, so you can spend 100 hours grinding cards to get it, as in you create your account and log in and you have all of the cards the game has to offer. So activating my hero ability here gives this an extra attack, so I can kill this. Wait, I can kill this, and then I can kill this. Oh, this is in defense mode. I keep forgetting I can't kill things in defense mode. All right, I messed that up. That's fine, I still wanted to kill that one. Yeah, it's easy to splash top end bombs. You can see my cards here too, so like my deck is monocolored, but like this card costs 2 green and 1 neutral mana. So like if I was playing a second color, this card is castable without all green resources. You can see here on my opponent's side, their first 3 gems are blue, and then their next one is red, and then blue, and then red again here. And during deck building, you choose the order your colors go up over here. Can I explain what the acts are? So the acts are different effects that happen as the game goes on. So when the second act triggers, you start getting 2 extra neutral mana each turn. And when the third act triggers, you unlock the third ability on your hero. The acts progress based on how many cards have been played or when certain things happen during gameplay. So for example, when you break your opponent's first barrier at 30 health, the next act happens immediately. So there's a couple different ways. So the acts either trigger based on how aggressive the game is happening or based on how many cards have been played out. Our deck that we're playing is fairly aggressive here, so a lot of the times we've been triggering acts based on smashing our opponent. Oh, okay, so you can't add whatever you want to each hero. Heroes have set colors, a set amount of each color, but they add to 12 so you can have some leeway in how you build it. Okay, so you can't just mix and match it. Well, there's still some. And then, do heroes overlap colors then, I'm assuming then? That's a 7/7. Okay, so this gives something plating and lets it attack twice. Plating means it only takes 1 damage. So I could do this here. And then I can attack this in here. And then if I play this, it triggers my hero ability, which gives us a 5th attack, so that I can hit this, and then I can hit their face. And you can see we broke their first barrier here, so the next act's gonna happen. So when I pass the turn, and this is something that's interesting from the aggro deck perspective, is if you are aggressively triggering the next act, your opponent is the first one that gets the bonus neutral mana, and your opponent is the first one that gets their ultimate. So I like that if you're aggressively pushing the act, it puts you a little bit on the back foot in terms of getting to that resource first as kind of a catch-up mechanic. From a design perspective, that's really neat. Okay, so I have 7 total mana here. I think I need to kill their giant blimp here again. So I guess this gives things +2/+2. Because we're in Act 2. This makes these 6s. And then I hit them with my champion power here. My hero power. And then I hit this. And then this hits them and triggers Act 3. Triggering Act 3 might have actually been right to only attack them to 16 here. Because their Act 3 power is draw 5 cards. So that might have been loose. I don't think this game, while this game has some ideas similar to Magic because they're both card games, this game is pretty far from the same as Magic. So I think the game you're thinking about, Lodo, is Eternal Card Game, and Eternal Card Game is basically a clone of Magic the Gathering in a lot of ways. This is just different. I think the similarities in this to Magic are like there's colors, there's mana. Wait, is the double attack permanent? Is it? Gains 1 plating and I may attack twice each turn. Okay, so I could have attacked with this again? That can't be real, right? This is permanent? It would be nice to see that on the card, right? Yeah, the double attack card seems nutty. Yeah, I assumed because there wasn't text on the card, it was till end of turn. That's good to know. Or at the very least, it should have reminder text on here somewhere. Like if we don't have room to add it to the actual card, like put it on the right side here. Yeah, I could have given it +6 attack on here. The fact that you don't have to play both of those in the same turn is very silly. Yep, sure is permanent. There is taunt. Yeah, it could just be the people that we're playing against to what they're doing, but like, we're definitely just smarking people down with this deck. Bezos is stepping down as CEO. I mean, we're still kind of taking his money. I'm gonna leave the icon. Did he actually rage quit, or did he just decide that he's done being CEO? I don't know why you would want to be CEO of a company when you have all that money. He's still on the board, right? Like, why would you why would you work, right? You just like, if you have more money than God, you just like do whatever you want, whenever you want? Like... He said he likes working. Fair. I mean, you get to do it. I guess that has to be the only reason, right? You have to do whatever you want. You have to be enjoying it. Maybe he's tired now. He did just get divorced. Maybe he needs time to date. This is a hero we haven't seen yet. What are its abilities? I gotta decide my hand first. I'm gonna take a shuffle back here. I've got 2 6-drops in my hand and no 1-drop. If I had 1-drop, 2-drop, I might keep a 6-drop. Yeah, sweet. Now we've got 1, 2. Change the stance of target allied companion. At the start of your turn, add any unspent mana from last turn to your... Wait, what? At the start of your turn, add any unspent mana from last turn to your pool until end of turn. Okay, so this can carry over mana turn across 1 turn. That sounds gross. So they're going to be able to play a 3-mana card next turn then, because they'll carry it over. Yeah, this just lit up. After you target another allied companion with a spell, I give them +1/+1. After you target an allied permanent with a spell. Sure. Okay, so this gives me 1 extra attack. I think I just want to play. This gives me 1 extra mana. I think we're just like getting smarky, right? That's what we do. We beat people down. Act 2 coming at you, chat. When we pop their first barrier, we get to Act 2. Act 2, I choose you. Okay, so this pops their barrier and starts Act 2 and triggers our passive to give all of our things extra attack. They go to 30. Smack you for 5, smack you for 4, smack you for 3. And then next turn, we get to hit this, put them to 15, trigger their last barrier, play this, hit them again, and then smack them a bunch. All right, interact me, baby. They created a giant monster. So... Are they dead? This is 5, 9... So they've got an armor. So this is not going to break their shield just yet. It also doesn't trigger this. So I get to do this, which triggers it again and breaks their barrier and then does this. And then I get to go ahead and do this, this, this. And now they're at 3. And I have your story ends to kill this. Does that not work? Destroy target pair with no adjacent companions. Oh, do these count as adjacent? Do these count as adjacent? These must count as adjacent, huh? Adjacent is all 5 tiles around the companion. Okay. 4N, draw the rest of your deck. Okay. Well, I mean, they're at 3. So I've got deal 8 rolled up here for next turn. I am the mono green. Oh, you can't draw past 10 still. That makes sense. It's a good point. You killed some of my dorks. My pew-pews are ready. So they gotta deal with our board and more. Hey, Elwins, thanks for the 35 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They also need to get above 8. We're only at 6. First time each turn, if you play 3 spells, yeah. Yeah, we are the mono green. Have we lost any games aside from the first one that I messed up and conceded? I don't think we have, right? I agree. The look and feel of the game, from the aesthetic to the music, are all aces. Did a really good job tying everything in and making it feel connected. That's a problem a lot of smaller games have. They don't feel they feel kind of disjointed. This game doesn't have that issue at all. It's very pleasant. It feels Eldraine, so I have mixed feelings. It is storybooky. That's the whole thing, right? Nah, Wizards knew exactly what they were doing when they printed Tybalt's Trickery. Wizards likes turn 2 combo decks in their formats. They like people being able to high roll and feel the rush, even if it creates a bad play experience for the opponent. Oh, there is a whole thing here. The fortress. There's heroes from in here. See cards that come from here. Wow, there's a lot here if you're into Vorthos type stuff. From a design perspective, is Magic the OG or do they copy from other games? Magic's the OG for card games, I believe, for playable games. I would love to play some Ash Riven. HR back. Thank you for the 28 months. This hand's great. We're on the draw here, so we have the coin too. So we're gonna get to coin, play 2 hatchlings on 1, and then on turn 2, like play Will Hunt and smack them for a bunch. Give target ally 2 attack until the start of your next turn. Okay, but this is in defense mode right now. So even if they wanted to have this attack something, they can't, because they have to, it takes a turn to switch it. You may only have 3 companions in the story at once. Your companions have +1/+1. Oh, that's really interesting. So they can't go wide, but the things that they have are bigger. So this card's free, basically. It adds a bag of crowns to your hand. Okay, so because my companion bonus is only on my turn, I think I need to attack into their 4/4 here, because otherwise their 4/4 is going to get to eat one of my 3/3s. So I think we go ahead and hit this, and then we smack them with this. This gets to trade profitably into here, which I guess is a little annoying for us. Next turn I have 3 mana. They're at 33. I wonder if I want to force it into Act 2 next turn, or how much I want to force it by. Because we get to Sun here and give this to attack, and then I could Champ Power, pop down to their barrier, and then smack them for 6, 7, 8. This card's fucked up. This. All right, so it gives our thing double attack, and it gives it this barrier that says the next time it doesn't take damage. Like, I was a little worried about their 5/5 for a second, and then we drew the card that just like nopesers it right on out of there. And this keeps the it can attack twice permanently from this, we learned, so I can put Gift of Conviction on this next turn and just smack them right upside the head. I'm gonna have to put Son of Driven on here too. If they don't kill this thing, we're gonna be pretty close to dead. Opponent has decided they are dead. Aggro. All right, I feel like I wouldn't be doing a service to the game if I just played one deck for the entirety, as much as I love this green deck. Which of these other ones are any of these other decks also aggro decks? I would like to show off some other cards, but I would like to play something aggressive still. It's curving out is the easiest thing to figure out how to do when you're learning a game. Number 2 is tribal aggro. Okay, in. And again, if you give this an install and you're looking to play with the starter decks yourself, they're numbered in order of complexity. So 1 being the least mechanically complex, 6 being the most. And all of these decks are competitive to start because, again, you have all of the cards in this game right off the bat. They're not trying to give you crap decks to encourage you to buy packs. And I assume we shuffle these back because I don't have any 1s or 2s. Don't have any 1-mana plays. What do our powers do? Deal 3 damage to target companion. Reduce this by 2 until the end of your next turn. Oh, so you get like 2 for the price of 1? Discard the top card of your deck. You may hover over this ability to view the top card. Huh. That's sick. Well, I could do that. Is there a -1 deck for me? Big mood. My opposing adjacent companions can't leave guarded stands. Dawn. I change all into guarded stands. That's neat. So if I play this, it's unfortunately going to trade with this. So I guess I just shoot this, right? There's no reason for you to play this out and trade it with their idiot. Mark target page with companions in this page have -1/-1. Rally. Activates after an allied companion shares the subtype. Okay, so that's why it's tribal. So other innates will trigger this. Choose which card to place at the bottom of your deck. After companion enters the story on your turn, scry. Oh, no, not on that one. And these just came into place, so they can't attack yet. Oh, this is an SF innate, so SF things will trigger that. So this hits the thing across from it at the end of my turn. You can also spend resources to move things to be across from it. You can deploy it to a certain spot and then force things over to it. So if I put this here, it changes this to guarded, and they can't leave guarded now. Yeah, the Rune Terror patch notes today were not great. The new cards they spoiled were good. Yeah, the new cards they spoiled are good and interesting, but the actual patch notes themselves are real medium. So I'm going to go up to 5 next turn, so I can drop this Pit Horror, and it'll kill this. Really neat control elements in this deck. We've got this to lock things into guarded, and we've got this to kill things across from it. Yeah, there's no way Fiora and Shen don't end up better, right? Especially with the new Ionia Burst spell. It's gonna be a little rough. Was Scout Plaza their worst matchup? That is even more puzzling. All right, so if I put this here at end of turn, this is going to kill this, right? Is my understanding? Yeah, it does. Sick. And we're in Act 2 now, so we unlock some more neutral mana. Hey, Wisp, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Doing well, Wisp. And this is going to get to kill this, which unlocks this. Our House of Cards is falling apart, chat. This deck's much harder than the mono green deck, chat. I guess I kill this. And then I've got 6 resources. think I'm happy with that. But I guess I'm just playing out this and then not using my resources. Oh, I could have done this and this. Yeah, okay, so this gives adjacent things, so I should have switched the sides on these. I didn't realize I could play that too. Hey, Livy, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. So this is a 6/6 now because of their tutelage. Conviction lets these start to cantrip, which seems nice. Yeah, I did the patch review first thing in the stream. There's like going to be a 40-minute YouTube video later. If I do this here, I can give this 2 attack, and then these will trade. So this'll get bigger. Oh, I guess they can give this bonuses, and it still doesn't trade. This deck definitely feels super mopey. I'm not super excited about the Rune Terra changes. The new cards that they spoiled look excellent. The actual changes on existing cards, I really don't like. They didn't touch Lee Sin, they didn't touch Fiora, they nerfed the deck that has the best Lee Sin matchup, and they nerfed Hush. It's a disaster, in my opinion. It is and not only did they not nerf them, but they didn't give any communication about them at all. They didn't mention them as things they're watching, just nothing. I guess I get to play this as well. I change opposing companions. Can I overwrite something here? I can't. That's unfortunate. I guess I play this because it draws me a card. Oh, it does change it. Oh, that's great. Let's bottom that. Looking for more 4+ power things. Okay, this card could drag us kicking and streaming back into this game for sure. How's Chroma felt? This game's neat. It's got some good design mechanics. I really love the deck building axis that it operates on. The design of the axe, how the game gets pushed along, as well as the barriers in place to control the pacing of the game a little bit is pretty innovative and interesting. So next turn, this is going to go away because it's going to time out, and I can drop this and this. I like that the starter decks are good by default too. After I attack, your opponent discards the top 9 cards of their deck. Dawn, I destroy an opposing permanent. Well, everything just fell apart. So that destroyed this, which means this is no longer in defense mode, and now this can trade. Oh wait, they just hit my face? Deal. The look and feel of the game is great. So I have 11 total mana here. So this can kill this at end of turn. So if I play this at end of turn, this is going to kill this. Rarely, I give target ally 2/2 and overwhelm. I think that's fine. So then I have 6 mana left over here, so I can only play 1 more. So if I play this, we're going to bottom that. I get to go ahead. Oh, this is on Rally. It makes things bigger. That's fine, though. Okay, so I give this here and give this to attack. And then this can smash into here. And then at end of turn, this triggers and kills this, which is perfect. Oh, I forgot to look at the top card. Yeah, that's fine, right? It's a 4 power, so it draws me. Yeah, Convocation is going to be the reason we win this game if we win it. Just like making all of our 4+ attack things cantrip is kind of sick. My opponent's board is now dead, and we've got a bunch of thick chunk of monks here. Six to everything is pretty good. Fine, we still got plenty of gas in the tank from this one. And my, okay, so I'm gonna be up to the full 12 mana here now. Oh, and this just lets me destroy target page, right? Although I don't really need to do that, right? So I could do this. I'm fine drawing that. And then I could do this, which draws me more cards. I don't want to one drop. And then I can play this. Discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. If you control a golem, your opponent does the same. That sounds good for when this runs out. Oh no! Oh no, I fucked it up! Crap! This is Rally is when you play, so I needed to play SF. No, oh no, we were gonna win this game too. So if I would have played this would have triggered on here, and then I would have killed this at end of turn, and now we're not going to, because I'm a big dumb stupid. We're gonna lose this game, and I deserve to lose it. I thought this was triggering. I got ahead of myself. I was like, oh, this is bigger. I should play this. I don't really need the Scry 2, but I needed the Scry 2 to trigger this one. At least this is low enough to be able to kill this with my ability next turn, but Where's the challenge if all of the cards are free? Actually playing the game. If here's an ice cold take. If the only reason your game is good is because players can't actually get the cards, your game actually fucking sucks. Games that hide data and stuff like that are really bad. All right, so we get to just mess up their board entirely here, right? So I have this, I move target opposing permanent into my page. So I move this to be across from me, and then I use this to destroy this. And then, oh, I can Mournful Tutelage here too, right? For the turn, I think, I probably want to play stuff to draw cards, actually. Because this is the last turn on this one. There are always Magic players that were like, well, we can't share data because if we share data, you know, the game will be solved and all this other nonsense. Either of those. All right, and then I get to attack their dome a couple of times here, and then this is gonna kill this at end of turn, and we're in a good spot again. Jade Pit Horror's been sweet. Flare, thanks for the follow. It's not if you can't get all the cards, it's getting the cards as part of the challenge. It depends on what you like as a challenge then. Like, if you're someone who the part of games that you enjoy is grinding out with bad decks and slowly acquiring a collection, then Chroma's not for you. And then you're not its target audience. Chroma is looking to cut through that nonsense and noise and just give people a game that's worth playing, as opposed to playing this mini game to actually figure out if you want to play the actual game. And it's fine if you enjoy playing the game in a way that's different. Oh gosh. Target an allied permanent, destroy other permanents that share a card type. So they copied my card and then destroyed all my cards so they share a card type. That's brutal. Oh, actually, I just get to do this, right? And kill this. Nah, it's been a long time since I did a 24-hour stream. I'm an old man with lots of responsibilities. Wait, what happened? How did this come back? What did I miss? What did I miss? Didn't I kill this? Did I mess something up there? Oh, I messed up. My hero power was less damage to turn because I used it the previous turn. Okay, so I really messed that up then. Oh, I forgot to use this last turn too. It's like 2 misses in a row. It's awkward. What does this do? Marks all allied pages without a mark with SF in this page. It gets +1/+1. Wait, why can't this attack? Oh, it was getting a bonus. Got it. All right, so that's their shield. I destroy all companions in the guarded stance. Oh, that's really good with this. I mean, sure, Lampert, so you're just doing the kind of typical card game player thing where you're like, you're just kind of doing the typical card game player thing where you're extending your personal preferences, which are you enjoy playing games and that you enjoy the collection aspect of games, and you're extending that to, well, this is the part about games that everybody enjoys. And like, I'm glad that you enjoy that part of the game, but like, for me personally, for example, I hate that part of games. I just want to play the actual game itself. I want the game components, and I want to just experience what the actual game has to offer. I despise the sub game of trying to actually get the pieces before I can play what the actual game itself is. And I understand that other people enjoy that, and like, more power to them, but that is not the part of games that I enjoy. They are super dead, right? Safu Barrel, thanks for the follow, by the way. Welcome to the channel. Let's do at least one more with this one. Definitely not nearly as quick as the other deck, but once we got rolling, the synergies were interesting and good. And again, if you think this game looks sweet and you want to give it a try, you can check it out on Steam. It's free to install. You have all of the cards to start with. Both the decks that I played today are just their default starter decks that are reasonable and powerful. There are 6 of those in the game to give you a feel for the different things. Yeah, you can play against the computer to get a feel for the game. There's also a tutorial that'll walk you through the basics. This whole stream segment will end up on my YouTube channel like all my stream segments do. And we started today by playing the tutorial. Yeah, it sounds looks great. I would love a Jade Pit horror. Yeah, I guess my way to put it, Lampert, is the type of gamer that I am. I don't play games for the collectible aspect. For me personally, the fact that some games have a collectible aspect is an active negative that I dislike. Honestly, I think I'm just keeping the elephant. Giving 2 elephants sounds great. This game is monetized via cosmetics and their battle pass, which I believe the battle pass is, usually those are more cosmetics. Yeah, and that's why games are great, right? Like, I understand that other people like the collectible aspects of game, but that's just not the part of the game that I enjoy. Or games in general that I enjoy. I do not need another mournful tutelage. Emily sounds great. Choose up to 7 Carrion Forge copies from your ashes. They enter the story. Give them 2/2 and deadly. So that's a 4/2. And this, use your hero primary ability. At the start of your next turn, deal 3 damage to any target. Choose the target then. Interesting. So this is about to die then. So I could technically... I might want to use my Bag of Crowns to drop the Jade Pit Horror to be across from this. I don't hate that, and this is big enough that it doesn't die to this, which is nice. Okay, I think I like that. It adds to my board while also... A little bit of lag there. While also interacting with their board, so good tempo play. So they are hitting this. I assume they're gonna have another piece of damage. Wait. What did I miss? Oh, did they activate this twice last turn? Because their Will Hunt activated it once, and then they also activated it? That makes sense. Oh, create a Carrion Forge copy of the last companion that entered the battlefield yourself. Okay, so they copy the thing that they killed from me. Huh. I don't know how I... Can we beat this card out of the opponent? So, like, it can move their stuff to in front of me. So Killaphant puts it in defense mode, but they can slide the Killaphant over. Well, they don't have 2 red yet to slide over. Okay, that makes sense. So I can put the Killaphant here. Oh, I'm dumb. I have this, right? I'm dumb. I'm very stupid. I forgot I had a champion power myself. This was a waste of a Killaphant. I should have put the frontline overseer. I was overthinking and forgot we had this. Oh, it only does damage in the combat stance. Is that true? And a turn, if I am in combat stance, I deal... Oh, okay, good. We're just always in combat stance, so... Play a card with 2 mana cost from your ashes for free. Wow, that seems really good. Has a 2-turn cooldown. Thanks, Woody. So I have 6 total mana this turn. So I can Mournful Tutelage, and I can give this +2 health and then I can smack this here, and then I can play this out as well. Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot that they double activated again. I keep missing the fact that this coming in means they double activated. So I shouldn't have played the other card, so I was just gonna die to the ability they had queued up. It's a bit of a derf moment on my part. The issues earlier were unrelated to latency or anything like that, as in tough. We might actually get to Act 2 through here as opposed to breaking the first barrier. Most of the Act 2 games we've played so far have involved breaking the barrier. I feel like I'm just passing the turn here rather than playing out into their Willhound activation. Wait, it can deal 3 to my face? Well, that's rude. I definitely didn't realize we were about to get faced there. That's pretty good. I guess that's why it comes with the delay. It can hit the dome, whereas this hits anything. They're just like, play lots of Willhuns. Does Warded protect me from this ability? If Warded protects from this, I should have played this out. It does protect from hero abilities. Okay, so I should have played this last turn. It's a pretty big mistake that I didn't. So I have 10 total mana here. I guess I play this out just so... just so we kill this, I suppose. It's possible I'm just supposed to burn anything on top of my deck right now that's not, the card that lets me draw a bunch of cards. Although I've got Monomaniac in my hand to draw 4, so that's probably fine. How does decking work in this game, by the way? Do I just lose, or do I take damage? I take damage, okay. Okay, so I think we give them the 1-2 punch next turn. This puts all my opponent's things into guarded, and this destroys everything in a guarded stance. And we're going to have 11 mana, so we can do both of these plus a scribe. The fact that they're still at 33 means I've got a lot to get through. And I hacked down my big one here. Or are they going to bring back this one to deal 2 here? Oh, knowing that they play this, I should have spaced these out, right? Instead of leaving them next to each other. A mistake on my part. Oh man, are we gonna start the turn with the unit in play? It's been ages since that happened. I feel like, have these things been doing something to stay in play longer? I feel like these things have been in play for forever. I guess 6 turns is a lot. All right, it's gonna let us draw a bunch of cards. Hey, Stone Age, thanks for the 2 years. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So, I think they get to slash 3 things this turn, if I was counting right. They put 2 Wilhuns into play last turn. Okay, so that's dead. I imagine they'll hit this twice. Or they're killing my taunt, sure. Have I found this game challenging so far? I feel like that's a question you can't really answer off the cuff while playing a minimal number of games. Because, like, or if a game has depth and complexity to it, it's hard to tell whether or not the games are difficult or not. So, like, for example, like, this game that we're currently playing has had a ton of back and forth, but I don't have enough experience with this game to know, like, am I ahead or behind right now? So, like, they've killed a bunch of my board, but I also don't feel like I'm losing this game necessarily at the moment. Because, like, I have this, which is a draw 4, and I have this thing on top of my deck, which will let me draw a bunch of cards, too. Yeah, these are enchantments that have a cooldown where they tick down slowly. So these are not creatures. They let them replay units from their bin, and they last 6 turns each. Wait, did they mill my deck? Well, they do mill me. I believe. Oh, yeah, there's only 4 cards in our deck because of these. Oh, yeah, we're super dead. Got it. All right. Damn it! I did it again. That was the only other game we lost, and I went to concede, and I hit quit by mistake. That's fine. At any rate, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up there on that note. On that note, anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out. Remember, if you want to check out Chroma, it's up there on Steam. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, there's a link in the video description down below. Shout out to Chroma for sponsoring the segment today. Their game is neat, and their monetization model is great. I like just being able to worry about playing a game. I definitely preferred the aggressive deck, the green deck that we played first, so that the red deck, someone described it, I asked for an aggro deck, and they described it as an aggro deck. That red deck wasn't really an aggro deck. It was more of a mid-range interactive deck. So it was neat for a mid-range deck. It had a lot of neat mechanics in it, but it definitely was not something aggressive. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with some Magic the Gathering, and then tomorrow afternoon, Runeterra's patch goes live, so I'll be playing more Runeterra in the afternoon with some Aphelios and friends. So see you then, folks.